We have a very, very challenging lesson today. So let's get into it and talk about it. Our lesson for today comes in our summer quarter that is entitled Many Faces of Wisdom. And we are in unit number 1, which is dealing with wisdom in Proverbs. And our lesson for today is lesson number 4 for June 28, 2020, an invitation to wisdom. And our printed text today is Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1 through 6, verse 8 through 10, and verse 13 through 18. Well, our lesson today comes as the wisest man Solomon presents us with 2 invitations, with 2 pathways, with 2 choices that we can make, whether it will be wisdom or foolishness. In our text today, Proverbs and the proverbial writings of Solomon today paint for us the picture of these 2 pathways. And the illustration that is used is that of an invitation to a meal. So in our text today, we see these 2 invitations given. The first one is given to wisdom in verse 1 through 6 and verse 8 through 10. And wisdom is described as being able to build a house, to set a table with dinner. Wisdom can instruct the wise, and wisdom can teach the wise, and they will become wiser. Beautiful illustrations of what wisdom can do. But not only does Solomon give us wisdom, give us the pathway of foolishness. Proverbs chapter 9, verse 13 through 18 gives us the illustration of the foolish. For there it says, the foolish know nothing. They are simple. The foolish think that stolen water is sweet, and that hidden and secret deceits are pleasant. That's the description that is given for the foolish. The wise have one path and the foolish have another path. Proverbs gives us 2 ways that we as Christians can walk. We can either walk in wisdom or we can walk in foolishness. So wisdom gives us these 2 pathways. And verse number 18 is really the pathway that challenges us about the end of the foolish. For the 18th verse says, the foolish path leads to death. They are in a deep realm of the dead, or in Sheol, or in hell. The pathway, verse number 18 says, of the foolish, it leads to death. It is in the deep realm of the dead, and it leads to hell. But verse number 10, again, culminates this whole lesson on wisdom, because verse number 10 of our text today says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So again, although that pathway of foolishness leads to death and leads to hell, the wise, when they walk the path of wisdom, it leads back to God. For wisdom and understanding has its roots in the Lord. So today, as we conclude, the invitation is given to us to come and eat. And we each have to make a decision of what table we will eat from, the foolish or the wise. There are 2 pathways, and we must choose which pathway it is that we will go down. I ask you the question today, whose invitation will you accept?